Water District Financing Authority Board of Directors meeting to order. It's May 13th at 3:32 p.m. All right, so the clerk call roll call.
President Rivera,
Present.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez,
Present.
Director Croucher,
Here.
Director Lopez.
Here.
There is a quorum.
All right, thank you. All right, please rise and do the pledge of allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item is item 3, approval of the agenda.
I'm sorry, President Rivera, we need to take board action.
Yeah, board action, yes. First item then is a board action to approve the remote attendance for Director Gary Croucher due to just cause. Is there a motion to approve?
Director Gonzalez.
All right. Lopez second. All right.
President Rivera,
Yes.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez,
Yes.
Director Lopez. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, sorry, we are out of order. Next item, number 3, is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to
Director Gonzalez.
approve? And seconded by Lopez to approve the agenda.
President Rivera,
Yes.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez, Director Croucher,
Yes, for Director Croucher.
and Director Lopez. Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, next item is number 4, approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of April 1st, 2026, and the special board meeting of April 20th, 2026. Any comments? Okay, motion made by Director Lopez.
Second by Director Gonzalez.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
President Rivera,
Yes.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez,
Yes.
Director Croucher,
Yes.
Director Lopez. Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, now we're on item number 5, public participation, opportunity for members of the public to speak to the board on any subject matter within the board's jurisdiction, including an item on today's agenda. Do we have any comments from the public?
Seem to be any indication that anybody wishes to speak.
Thank you. So we'll assume that's a no for virtual and in person. All right, thank you. So now we will go to item number 6, consent items. Item 6A, B, C, D, and E. I'm going to start with Director Croucher if he has any comments on any of the items on the consent calendar.
Nope, I'd make a motion to approve consent calendar.
All right. Is there any other board member wishing to make any comments on the consent calendars, item 6A through E? Second to approve the consent calendar.
Director Gonzalez.
Okay, motion's been made by Director Croucher and seconded by Director Gonzalez to approve the consent calendar.
President Rivera,
Yes.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez,
Yes.
Director
Yes.
Croucher, and Director Lopez. Motion passes 5-0. President Rivera, public who raises their hand and wishes to speak.
Okay, I will allow that. Go ahead and start when you're ready.
Yes, we can.
Okay, General Managers like to respond, please?
Yeah, thank you, Robert, for your comments. I'd like to comment on that. So the Zoom has been available since the start of COVID. It's just in the past there was Zoom and then an additional live stream that was delayed. We've now shifted full to Zoom to allow for other accommodations, and it's more live, so it's easier for the public to see exactly real time the items that are being discussed.
I'm happy to address that issue.
Open your mic.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for your asking the question, and your question is completely appropriate and is typical under the Brown Act in terms of having two-way ability. We have a unique circumstance here that's governed by both state and federal law in terms of an accommodation issue. So rather than disclosing any issues of privacy, I just want to make sure that you're aware of that and happy to answer any questions at any other time.
Okay, so that can. Yeah. No, thank you for speaking to us. We learned from the public and appreciate your comments. Okay, with that, we'll go to item number 7, and that's the Board of Directors 2026 meeting calendar, and the meeting dates are shown on the attachment. Any comments?
Announcements. The Engineering Operations and Water Resources Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 19th at 12 p.m. And this month, there will be no Finance and Administration Committee meeting. As of today, there are no other changes to the calendar.
All right. Thank you, Jenny.
President Rivera, can I make a comment
Yes,
here?
go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's noted that I will be out of the country starting May 21st and coming back on the 2nd. I will be here for the June board meeting, but make sure that if anything is going to comes up that it's duly noted. Thank you.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay, and so this is an action item?
There's no way.
No,
No,
okay.
no
All
action.
right, thank you. Now we'll go to item 8, the informational items. The following items are provided to the board for informational purposes only. No action is required on the following agenda items. Item 8A, update on the district-wide meter changeout project. Andrew Carey.
Hey, good afternoon, President Rivera, members of the board, General Manager Martinez, and General Counsel. I am here today to provide an update on the district's meter changeout project. In January 2025, the board authorized the general manager to enter an agreement with Badger Meter Inc. for the purchase and installation of water meters and cellular endpoints as part of a district-wide meter changeout. This map up here actually shows you all of the different meter read routes that the district has throughout its area. The meter changeout project is expected to span 6 years with the timeline provided on the slide. We are currently in that, we've just completed our initial meter deployment, and we're currently in the system integration and testing part of the project. So in late 2025, the project began with district staff, the district's project management consultant, eSource, the meter manufacturer, Badger Meter, and the installation contractor, Professional Meters, Inc., known as PMI, discussing system design, establishing testing requirements, and planning customer communication materials and an outreach schedule. From January through April of this year, approximately 500 meters were installed as part of the initial deployment area. These meters were selected to test the project workflow, field quality control, cellular connectivity, and overall system readiness before proceeding to full deployment. We are currently in this IDA phase, and pending successful system testing, full deployment is anticipated to begin in August. And this is kind of an area, this shows exactly where all those 500 meters are located throughout the district. So prior to beginning the project team established workflows for data transfer, customer communication, and work order management. The IDA allowed these workflows to be implemented on a smaller scale to test functionality. This presentation will go into each of these in more detail. First is data transfer. This project requires data to flow in multiple directions. Data from the district to PMI's work order management system is transmitted daily to ensure PMI has the most current customer and meter information. In return, all completed meter changeout information is relayed from PMI to the district, so the final read on the old meter and all new meter information is promptly entered into the utility billing system. To minimize staff time associated with this process, the district's IT staff developed automated processes to facilitate these data transfers. Once the meters are installed and added to the district's billing system, the information needs to be relayed to Badger Meter's meter data management system, known as Beacon. This allows customer account information to be connected to the meter and cellular endpoint within Badger's system, which is necessary for meter read exports, data analysis, and account troubleshooting. As new meters were added, staff successfully imported and exported data from both systems. After confirming that the process was functioning effectively, an automated process was implemented to download the files from the utility billing system, which are then imported into Beacon by the district's meter services team. The next workflow tested was customer communication. Prior to the installation of any meters, district staff developed various communication tools, including a project webpage, a frequently asked questions document, social media posts, a postcard, door hanger, an email, and an automated phone call. All communication materials are available in both English and Spanish. The communication workflow was explained in depth during the meter changeout informational item presented to the board in November. But in summary, each residential property within the IDA was mailed a postcard prior to meter installation. Emails and phone calls were also sent to affected customers approximately 1 week prior to the installers being in their neighborhood. On the day of installation, a door hanger was left at the property upon completion of the installation or to notify the customer if the meter could not be changed out due to an issue. Most recently, the district completed the English version of the customized project video, addressing common questions about the installation process and overall project. The Spanish version is still in production and should be available very soon. While I'm happy to share the video, I believe it has been shared with all of you, so I don't believe we need to unless there's a request to. One of the most important functions tested during this IDA phase was the work order management workflow. PMI utilizes a robust work order management system that allows district staff to view the addresses within a route scheduled to be changed out and the status of the changeout. For completed changeouts, staff can review photographs of the site prior to installation, the old meter prior to removal, the newly installed meter, and the final condition of the meter box. This information and pictures are extremely helpful to both meter services and customer service staff when answering customer questions or investigating usage variances. The work order management system also tracks meters that could not be changed out and have been turned back over to the district. Common reasons for the return to the district include a non-functioning district-side shutoff valve, an inaccessible meter, or an improper customer-side connection. If the issue can be resolved quickly, the meter can be returned to PMI's active workload. Otherwise, the district will complete the changeout and it will show removed in the PMI system. District staff have worked closely with PMI throughout the IDA phase to ensure the installation process proceeds smoothly. Meter services staff maintain regular communication with the PMI supervisor and when necessary, meet installers on site to assist with locating and accessing meters. Although the IDA installations were completed successfully, there are additional steps necessary prior to full deployment. The following items will be addressed in the coming months to prepare for the first full year of installations. First, Beacon training for end users. The meter data management system will allow customer service and meter services to access detailed meter information, including 15-minute interval data. Customer service, meter services, and IT staff have recently received training on how to access and navigate this system. The transition to AMI will generate a significant volume of data that must be managed effectively. Staff is currently working with its consultant eSource to learn best practices in managing and utilizing this data effectively. Staff will be working in the coming months on the development of a platform to provide district stakeholders with a high-level summary of the project's progress. Many meters in the IDA were selected due to their location in areas that may have difficult cellular performance, and staff has been monitoring their connections. In addition, staff will be doing some field read verifications to ensure the Beacon's reading system matches the physical meters. At this time, I will open it up to any questions you may have.
All right, I do have a couple of questions. So the initial phase looks like it went, you had results higher than staff was expecting. So are there any, I guess, maybe lessons learned right now?
I think that there, as like with any project, when you're working with new contractors, there's just a lot of discussion about the communication. Also, we did find that there were some service leaks during the installation, and those contractors just need to tighten the nut a little deeper. So we did find that in our kind of initial deployment area, and then we found that greatly improved as the initial deployment area went on. But we continue to have weekly meetings with the Badger team, the PMI team, and our project manager, even currently in this IDA phase.
And were the initial 500 meter only single family residential, or did you try different users?
Yes, no, we actually did different users. So we did mainly single family because that's obviously our footprint, but we did some irrigation, 1.5 and 2 inch irrigation meters, and we actually did some large meters. So we put endpoints. We're not changing the large meters out, but we're putting the cellular endpoints on those large meters. And we did, I think, about 10 of those. 15 of those. So including a couple at the Donovan and Bailey, which are definitely a little tricky to access. So It's nice to have that data.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to see if Director Croucher, if you have any questions or comments.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Do we anticipate being able to be notified of water leaks sooner, helping reduce water loss at all, or anything such as that?
Yes. So actually, my customer service staff is actually reviewing the leak event reports that we get out of Beacon. We're reviewing that 2 to 3 times a week. And we do have some automated processes, even with our old system, where we will do, we can set up an event that triggers a phone call and an email, and even a letter if we don't have that information to let customers know. And then if it triggers a higher than we would anticipate leak, like we have seen some where it's 50 gallons of water an hour, we actually send a field staff out to tag the property so that they know. So it has been a really good tool. But like we said, there's a lot of data. So we have to find best practices to manage that kind of data. And then in the coming months, we're actually in the process of implementing a new customer system, which will include a customer engagement system. So customers will be able to register online and set up their own notifications and even set their own thresholds, like notify me if it's over this many gallons per hour. I want to know right away.
That's great news. Thank you. I know that when Rainbow went to their automatic meter readers, they had some issues with the contractor, and then they had some installation issues and stuff like that. Have we talked to our surrounding agencies that are using the automatic meter readers with the information flow back to us? Are we talking to them to ensure that we're covering any of the unknowns?
Yeah, we've actually we have every 6 months we meet with the various customer service managers. We all meet together and we talk about the what metering systems they're on, what problems they've had. We don't have a lot locally that have the Badger system, but we do have a lot that have AMI at this point in time. So we definitely talk about their lessons learned, ways that they're notifying their customers, and also the systems they're on to do kind of that automatic alert to customers. And then I think as time grows, there will be more discussion about how to use more of the AMI data, because that is still relatively new on how to use that system-wide.
Perfect. And then the last thing I had was, I know you're saying that it has a lot of data that that we're going to need to manage. And I just want to make sure that we're not collecting data and having to process it on stuff we don't need to know about, and we increase our cost. So I just want to make sure we're as efficient as possible with the management of the data that's done. And that's my last question.
Yes. Now, I mean, the system that Badger includes with their pricing, so we don't pay any extra for the system, holds multiple years worth of data. In fact, at this point, they've said they really haven't purged any data. I'm sure down the road we'll look at that. But our requirement in our RFP was at least 3 years of data that they would actually hold and manage for us.
Thank you. That's it for my questions.
All right, thank you, Director Crosser. Okay, I'll start over with Director Roback. Any comments, questions?
So I just have a comment. So I'm trying to think, I saw the video a couple, 3 weeks ago. I think I was talking to you, Tennille. Was that on social media? I saw that? Okay, yeah. That was really, really well done. So, because I'd asked her, I thought, wow, that was, that was my comment and I guess that's the vendors that's actually doing the installation. They work with this company to do these kind of videos.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And when we saw some samples prior to the project, and we were really impressed with them as well.
Yeah, no, that was really well done.
Okay, Director Gonzalez?
So I have some questions. So you had stated that people who want to be able to understand the app will be having an online training. So if we have a population that doesn't understand online, is there anything programmed to have it in person? That way that our customers or ratepayers will have the opportunity to come and learn how to access this app?
So we haven't discussed our outreach yet for the customer-facing app. The training we did was all internal on the Beacon system that our internal users will use. We will definitely be having a lot of discussion on outreach when we roll out our customer-facing portal, but we're just still in that implementation. We're inundated with data right now, so we haven't really gotten to the process of the full rollout. But we'll be also working with our consultants and all of that to make sure we're doing best practices. So
wonderful. And so how do I want to make sure that this data is protected. Is there any firewalls or anything that can make sure that this isn't stolen and that our customers are protected in this way?
Yeah, so we did look a lot at security, and I may have to point to Mike Kerr because I don't know all the ins and outs of the IT security, but it is a cloud-based system. They have level 1, I believe level 1 security. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, so to answer your question, there are different multiple layers of security with regards to SOC 1, 2, and 3. And essentially what happens is they have to pass through a lot of different criteria and filtering to even be certified to level 3. And that's what the data will reside on.
Okay. So. Wonderful. Thank you. And my last question is that do we have staff from OTI verifying? Is the wrench twisted enough? Is there we have protocol plus somebody double checking plus somebody else? Because we just want to make sure that this investment is not a regret later on in that sense.
Right. Yeah. So we did have our consultant, which is something that we contracted with them, eSource, which is a third-party consultant, not affiliated at all with Badger. They went out and they actually they physically verified 100% of the IDA. And I should say they physically verified about 95% of the IDA. And then we went out and physically verified the other 5%. Plus we went behind and spot checked their work and PMI's work. So we did a lot of checking, and we will continue to do that. Obviously, once we get into deploying 10,000, we can't do 100%. That's physically not possible, but we will be checking, I think about 5% at least, and then we'll be going, eSource will be doing that, and then we will be going behind and doing additional checks. So we are making sure, we want to make sure that the project starts off strong and finishes strong. So we'll continue to do data QC as well as field QC.
Thank you.
All right, Director Lopez?
We had much discussion on at the committee level, and we also it's pretty well documented here. I just want to make sure that what stands out there is the committee also suggested improving the accessibility of Spanish language materials, and recommended that staff explore adding additional languages based on the demographic data. So just wanted to make sure that was introduced. Thank you.
Definitely. And we will continue to do that and make sure we can make sure everybody gets the information that needs to.
Thank you very much.
All right, this item again is for information. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is 8B, and that's the FY26 mid-year update for the district's fiscal year 2023 through 2026 strategic plan. I understand that we've had presentations at our different committee meetings. There's any comments from the board members? If not, then we will skip it. Are there any comments?
This is Director Croucher. My only comment is that I was able to review this item with the general manager. And so even though I didn't sit in on any of the committees, I was briefed. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Director Croucher. Director Roback.
So maybe you already answered this. So we've all seen that, including his briefing, then, right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I love that strategic plan. So I can't get enough. Like more cowbell, more strategic plan.
That's right. It's keeping us.
Can I suggest that we have Mr. Kerr present this real fast in the sense of, to join the public to be able to see the good work.
That's not a bad
that
idea.
happening.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like that.
Okay, go ahead, Michael. You can give the presentation.
Okay. Okay. Good evening or good afternoon, members of the board, General Manager Martinez. The purpose of this presentation is to provide the fiscal year 2026 mid-year status of the district's strategic plan. The plan spans 4 years from fiscal year 23 through the end of fiscal year 26. Today's presentation begins the second half of the organization's identified plan, including measures, objectives, and indicators. Next slide. So as mentioned in previous presentations, the district uses the balanced scorecard methodology for capturing and managing developed strategies that focuses on the 4 perspectives: customer, finance, internal business processes, and learning and growth. The next series of slides will be an overall snapshot of the agency's 26 mid-year performance measures and objectives. Next slide. For the 23 to 26 strategic plan, there are a total of 35 objectives, all of which are active. Of the 35 objectives, currently in progress, 32 are on schedule or completed. 1 is behind schedule, and we'll get to that one in a second. And 2 are on hold. The agency's annual target for its objectives is 90%. Next slide. Starting with the customer perspective, 4 objectives were identified. Progress to date reflects that 1 objective has been completed, with the remaining initiatives currently on schedule. Next slide. Switching over to the financial perspective, 7 objectives total. We have an assortment of status. Most initiatives are progressing, with 2 currently on hold. The Evaluate Banking review is being deferred to align with the upcoming CIS, which is Customer Information System implementation, part of Andrea just spoke of, where payment processing and cost efficiencies can be evaluated together. The other yellow is the cash reserves policy. Yes. Is also on hold until key components of the financial ERP, which is Enterprise Resource Planning System, are fully implemented, ensuring decisions are based on complete and reliable data. And a reminder, both are highlighted on page 2 and 3 of the staff report. All other efforts, including AMI deployment and customer-facing technology improvements, continue to move forward as planned. Next slide. Moving over to the internal business processes perspective, 19 objectives were identified for this current plan. Most initiatives are progressing as planned, with one currently behind schedule. The evaluation of alternative energy opportunities is being addressed through the CARP, which is the Climate Adaptation and Resiliency Plan. As this effort has expanded and required additional coordination analysis, completion is now expected to be by the end of fiscal year 27. And again, also noted on page 2 of the staff report. All other initiatives on this slide here are continue to progress as scheduled. Next slide. Continuing with the IBP, or internal business process perspective, all initiatives are either completed or on schedule. Next slide. Additional perspectives under the IBP perspective, completed or on schedule. Next slide. And the last quadrant of the scorecard, the learning and growth perspective, focusing on workforce development and organizational effectiveness. All initiatives are either completed or on schedule. Next slide. So the second half of the plan focuses on the district's KPI, or key performance indicators and metrics, supporting those objectives previously outlined. For this plan, there are a total of 34 KPIs, 22 reported quarterly, 11 annually, and 1 on a multi-year cycle. At the mid-year point for this last year of this plan, 22 of the 22 KPIs are currently on target. Next slide. So we'll begin with the measures. So technical quality complaint on target. Potable water compliance and answer rate, both on target. Next slide. Direct cost of treatment, on target. Next slide. CIP project expenditures versus budget, on target. Great picture there. Great picture. Great picture. Next slide. Change order incidents and planned potable water maintenance ratio in dollars, both on target. Recycle water maintenance and wastewater maintenance ratio, both on target. Next slide. Distribution system loss and billing accuracy, both on target. Next slide. Sewer overflow rate, AWWA measure. No, sorry, not AWWA measure. This is on target. The next slide. Next slide. Potable water system leaks and breaks are both on target, and these are AWWA benchmarking data and how the district compares to the others. Next slide. Recycle water system leaks and breaks, both on target. Next slide. Easement. Next slide. Okay. Easement evaluation and field inspection and markout accuracy, both on target. Next slide. System valve exercise program on target. Next slide. Employee voluntary turnover rate on target. Sorry, am I going too fast? Okay. Next slide. And finally, the last two, training hours per employee and safety training, there you go, program, both on target. So next slide. So that includes the presentation, a little bit speedy, but nonetheless. And I welcome any questions that the board may have.
Go ahead. Any comments?
Director Croucher, just one comment is I'm very pleased with our staff's work on this, specifically that we weren't changing the way we measure our successes and meeting the targets and not changing the targets themselves from year to year. There was a few years back that kept being a kind of a moving target, and it was hard to be able to really say how we did from year to year when all those were changing. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Gonzalez, go ahead.
I just want to acknowledge all the staff. Like these targets are exemplary. Like honestly seeing that, you know, we're just one little red little box that we need to work on, but everything else, 99% of the work that's been done as a whole team, as the Otay Water District, is I just want to say thank you. Thank everyone. So each of your managers, please come back and tell them thank you for this hard work, because it takes a team to do this, and our ratepayers are the ones that are going to are benefiting from seeing this hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it does take a village, and everyone behind me put this together. I'm just a pretty face.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
With that, then
There's,
go ahead, Director Roback. Sorry.
That's so fast, Michael.
I'm here. I'm here.
So, well, okay, you heard what I had to say about, liking to hear it. So it's not just something academic, one of I talk about our strategic plan all the time, when we're talking about, our organization, I'm a, 36-year businessman, and performance metrics, KPIs are important, and I think even more so with government. We don't have a choice where we get our water. We can't go shopping for water. We're not shopping for our city government. So, when I'm talking about the district, I oftentimes talk about some of our KPIs, like number of employees per customer, which were really good. We have water loss. Things that are meaningful. So. Employee retention, you saw that too. So we're not constantly, churning and burning people. So, I think, and I'm glad Director Gonzalez framed it that way for the people, the limited people that are on this call, is to let them know. And of course, people could watch this or listen to this later too. That this isn't just something academic. This is something we adhere to rigorously, like a good run business would. So this isn't just going through the motions. This is have some consequence. And I'm always in a presentation, there's always things I pick up. CityWorks. What is CityWorks? It has something to do with our.
So CityWorks is our work order management, the district's work order management system. So this system.
This is something we've had for a long time.
Yes.
CityWorks. Okay.
Yes. So it just manages and monitors all the work orders that operation does, go out in the field, and they provide all the data within the CityWorks application to manage and monitor, to provide metrics, to provide anything to do with the repair work or stuff like that.
Right. And then one thing that this covers, we talk about too, is cybersecurity. And Mike, you and I were going over this here just in the last week. So, we all know that I love AI a lot for fun, but there's this very serious side to it too.
Yes.
And I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about, we've all heard of one of the big AI companies, Anthropic. And, they have tools now through Anthropic that they're talking about now publicly. They've been talking about for the last couple of months, where they can real time pierce your security in real time. So that's just what we've heard about. So, there's developments of AI all over the world. So for all we know, we could be being penetrated right now as we speak. So hopefully that's not the case. I'm not trying to freak anybody out here, but this is,
Yeah, so that is, you and I have had discussions on that.
Right.
So it is Anthropic that it's in a development phase still, and they're kind of.
That's not to say that some other company couldn't have. That's my point.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Things we don't know about.
We don't know. Correct.
Right. So thank you for the presentation. Appreciate it.
I'd like to add something also.
Go ahead, Director Lopez.
Now, let me see if I can do some more cowbells to this. Rightfully so. As far as I know, he was making light of the fact that, we like hearing, from the staff, especially the strategic plan. If we go back to 2002, when we were really starting the program here, with the strategic plan and the business plan, and Gary Croucher can attest to that, we were leading the charge on this. And as a matter of fact, we were doing conferences. Our team here, the strategic planning, was giving conference, in the conference sessions, and it said OTI, and it said, our how we approach the strategic plan. So it's something that we take pride in, especially that it was started here. Well, everyone had their strategic plan, but this is a working plan. So I want to make the distinction. This is our working plan. A lot of strategic plans end up in the shelf.
Mhm.
And, but to attest to what we have, I think you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that our plan is living, breathing document. It's not just a shelf and a pretty book on a on a counter somewhere.
Mhm.
So we have engaged with staff every month, every few months, to ensure that we're on track for what we said that our goals are going to be to the board, because the board also have incorporated a lot of the feedback to direct with the plan. So yeah.
What you pretty much led to my last comment here is the fact that it almost took us like about 2 years or 3 years to get everybody on board. It wasn't something that just was, hey, we're going to do strategic plan. It took us about 3 years to get everyone involved in this, and get on board with our our vision, our mission. Those were things that were key, and I'm just glad that we were a part of it, and I'm very pleased how it was put forth, especially for this district, and this is what's made the district what it is.
It continues to evolve with some added functions as AI and some efficiencies. So I'll be back in a few months to start the new plan.
I'm sure you will, and we'll be glad to hear you. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the presentation and the work. All right. Next item then is item number 9, which is the reports, general manager's report.
All right, thank you, President Rivera. Just have one item. There's a lot of good information in there, but the one I wanted to highlight was on the top of page 8, PDF page 167, which is the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Proud to say that we received this award for the 22nd consecutive year. This prestigious Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the district's annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ending last June. And this is to be awarded, or in order to get this, the district had to publish an easily readable and comprehensive report that must satisfy both generally accepted accounting principles, also known as GAAP, and applicable legal requirements. So just wanted to highlight that. I know it sounds, sometimes it can sound perfunctory, like 22nd consecutive year, but it's a lot of work to do it every year. So good job to staff.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So now we'll go to the next item is San Diego County Water Authority updates. We met, well, let me start with on April 10th, I did a tour of the Diamond Valley Lake and the Skinner Water Treatment Plant. It's quite a good ability to understand sort of now the water as it nears into getting into San Diego County. So I appreciate the tour that was held on behalf of the San Diego County Water Authority. So we met on April 23rd, and there was a presentation on the Science Fair award winners. And then we also discussed the approving an assignment of the San Diego County Water Authority's semi-tropic groundwater banking rights. And then we adopted positions on various bills and on the legislative program. And then we also approved a relining project for Pipeline 5. And just so the public gets a sense of the order of magnitude of what an 8-foot diameter aqueduct costs. The relining of it is $30.5 million, and it's slightly less than a mile. And so in looking and comparing that to the population of the county at just over 3 million in the county, that was about $10 per person. And so that just shows you the expense of the infrastructure that we have to maintain on the water side, and why some of the agreements that have recently been in the public where we do water transfer rights has helped us to sort of reduce the need to overbuild our infrastructure, because again, more infrastructure is just more that we have to maintain and increases our fixed costs. So whatever we can do to get water reliability to our customers, that's what our goal is, and to do it as efficiently as possible. So it's very interesting to see how this all plays out, and how all this also affects the different water agencies in the county. So, and then we also have a closed session on labor negotiations. So unless Director Roback, you have any other comments?
I guess just like us, we're doing the budget, for next year. And we're not to skip ahead, but we just came back from Aqua in Sacramento, the bi-yearly conference we have. And the final presentation they gave, like a lunch on Thursday, when most people had left, I guess, but it was on ability. So you would think that would be one of the central, themes of the whole thing. Not that it's not, but, history of OTI, I was talking, I've been here a long time, going on 22 years. Two of the other directors have been here, Gary and Jose, a long time too. We have an ethos, like not just our strategic plan, but building our budget. We're very disciplined. We're zero-based budgeting. I've only been on the Water Authority about a year and a half, and I just don't. We feel we have that same discipline, and it's not that we're wholly inefficient, but to get to my point here, I have to make that same effort. I feel like I'm having to make that same effort to kind of push the envelope, but do it in a responsible way. Obviously, one of the things, for example, that we don't want to have happen, that we don't let happen here, is we don't defer things. If maintenance needs to be done, we get it done. If we have to have, Joe, I think this is a fair statement. If we have to, if staff says we need to have the, get, whatever it is done, we get it done in a responsible way. But anyhow, so that's getting that budget done. And so hopefully we don't let the city, I'll just be frank, city of San Diego, push the envelope too far one way where we're deferring things in a non-productive way. And for the long term, I'm referring to. So that's all I have. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's no other comments on San Diego County Water Authority updates, then next one is Metro Wastewater JPA. The meeting was May 7th. You didn't attend. You were at the conference.
Like you were, not.
No. Update for us on, maybe it was a tack. If not, I can read the agenda, but the Otay Water District was not represented at the, hate to put you on the spot, Ms. Gentry, but
I don't have all the agenda items in front of me, but they were all passed unanimously. And then there were 2 closed session items, which I was not involved with the closed session, but and there were no reportable items after the closed session. I think the closed session would be of interest.
okay.
But I'm sure you'll get updated at
Right. Well, I'll just summarize then what I see here on the agenda for May 7th. There was a closed session on the public employment executive director position. And then their consent calendar, they had meeting minutes, monthly reports for expenses, treasurer's report, and draft FY27 budget for JPA. Possible action to approve agreements for consultant services and professional services, and JPA staff. And then some Pump Station 2 design contract amendment with Brown and Caldwell, and as needed jetting and pipe cleaning wastewater treatment facilities at NRC. And possible action to appoint 2 additional directors to the Pure Water Ad Hoc. So I think that's it. All right, thank you.
All unanimous.
All right, next then, we've gone through the, we'll go to item 12, President's Report. Well, for me, I'll say April was pretty busy and had several phone call meetings with the general manager on various Otay Water District related business. And then I attended the South County Economic Development Chamber meeting and the Otay Water District Employee Appreciation Luncheon on the 15th. And also had committee agenda briefings. I attended the Earth Day event at the Chula Vista Harbor Park on the 18th. We all attended the budget workshop, and then a East-South San Diego County Water Authority caucus meeting to discuss the agenda at for the County Water Authority meeting. I attended the Otay Water District E&O WR committee meeting, and I was a panelist on the South County EDC Albondiga special event. The topic was Shaping San Diego's Water Future, where I was with 2 other San Diego County Water Authority directors answering questions from the attendees. And I also attended then on the 29th of April, the Otay Water District Sweetwater Authority Women in Water Luncheon. That was a very, very good event. A lot of people there, and then also did the tour of the facility. So the Purdue water treatment plant. So that was my April. So that concludes my president's report. So I'll start with director's report. Director Croucher, would you like to give your report?
Yeah, I met with the general manager just to discuss any of the upcoming topics and the upcoming budget. And I'll be coming in to meet with him again as part of my quarterly meeting with the general manager. The one question I had to do with the County Water Authority. Now that we signed which was a pretty big deal, signed the agreement between the Water Authority and Eastern Water. Have we had that water exchange agreement? Have we actually exchanged any water, or will we be getting updates to when those exchanges occur?
All right, Director Croucher, no water transfers as of today, but we expect that that's going to happen later this year, and we will start providing updates.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. All right, and then next I'll go with Director Roback.
Sometimes I look back on what I tweeted, you know, I've mentioned that before. And which I've been very prolific at, but you know, I think probably like a lot of us, you know, we read the local paper. Is that a fair statement? You know, so looking back, you know, 1st of April 4th, there was a pretty good article on our Water Smart makeover, our winner, you know, and so I always promote things like that. So that was got some good reaction on that. You know, when I saw that video we were talking about on the meter upgrade, I was thinking about that, and I talked to both the general manager and Tennille on that. And just to remind people, that's our largest infrastructure upgrade to date. I mean, just to remind everyone, $31.2 million. I made sure I had, you know, my facts right, you know, in that tweet, and that's significant, you know, and it's it goes without saying, you know, that's something. Interestingly, it makes us more productive. You know, it speaks to our strategic plan of becoming more efficient. Also, you know, speaking of news, I think we've all heard about the Super El Nino, right? So it's supposed to be the most significant El Nino in 150 years. So just to kind of refresh people's what that means is, at least for Southern California, is a very wet winter. So here's the probability is up 60+%. So stay tuned on that. A lot of concern on that. And of course, along with that is a lot of dryness in the upper Colorado River Basin, which is also very problematic. Lake Powell is very low, and it's probably going to get super bad this summer. Fortunately for San Diego, we're in pretty good shape. And the Albonigas, thank you, Frank, for President Rivera for being a panelist there. I commend you for there was a question posed to all the panelists by Mackenzie Elmer. She's a reporter that always writes for for the Voice of San Diego. And what was posed was, with the city of San Diego rolling off, with their Pure Water San Diego, if the voting structure should change, and logic would stand that it should change, right? Because they're buying less water. And Frank was the only one. President Rivera was the only one who said, yes, it should.
Well, you have to remind them also who else was up there. It was the chair, Nick Serrano, of the city of San Diego. So,
But there was also a
Lakeside
representative, and he didn't.
Well, he said he wasn't sure, I think. I think we covered all the bases. Yes.
Did he really?
Not
Okay.
sure, and no.
The other Frank, yeah.
Yes.
All right,
no,
I'll take
no,
your
no.
word for it. But there wasn't an affirmative like you,
I
for sure.
jumped right in, yes.
So thank you for, being honest. I mean, it should, I mean, it should be a democratic, and
That's right. Yeah.
whatever.
Every 4 years. All right, so then we'll go with Director Lopez, because I understand that Director Gonzalez has a presentation. So Director Lopez.
Well, I also attended that the Albondigas meeting, and kudos to our president, Frank Rivera, for making us proud. Answered the questions, and I think that in response to Director Rollback's comments, you handled yourself well. Okay, and we have also attended along with President Rivera, the San Diego Women in Water Lunch at the Sweetwater at the Robert Purdue water treatment plant. And I was very pleased to see I don't want to say old, but a friend of mine from my hometown, Calexico, which is Celeste Cantu, who's the president of the Water Foundation. So she was very informative, and I think especially talking about her past career and how she, managed to make it a career, and the professional that she is was well established. So hopefully that will encourage other more participants into the career as in water. Also was attended the Water Conservation Garden meeting. Along with that, we also, and I'm saying also with Director Gonzalez and myself, attended the Butterfly Festival, which was well attended, and rightfully so. Considering there was another festival going on, the Lemon Grove, which was at the same time. Oh, I'm sorry, Spring Valley, and in past years, you're usually separated, one's on a Sunday and one's on a Friday and Saturday. So for all in all, I think it was well attended on both ends, because we got to at least attend both of them, And obviously the budget workshop that we were involved with, which you mentioned, and we've had the Aqua conference that we were at, but I think I'm going to delay that till next report so I can give more of the details on what we attended, what workshops, and make comments on those. So with that, I turn the floor to Director Gonzalez.
All right, and
I'm looking forward for her report.
thank you. And just for the record, I asked Director Gonzalez to give a presentation. Very commendable for her. She's not really been involved in the water industry as much as the rest of us have. And so I know for her, the transition was pretty quick. And she's been very good at asking questions and trying to get things to understand how it all works. And so I've kind of pushed her a little bit more to try to get more into the technical side of it and get brought up to speed on different presentations and workshops that are available, and very commendable job for her. So I know she's had a very busy month, and so you can begin your presentation, Director Gonzalez.
Thank you, President Rivera. So you all are going to see that us as directors were a team. And so I pretty much started from the beginning of April, since we had our board meeting, did it by documentation, but honestly, being able to go to Washington, D.C. as an elected official and speak on behalf of our county, our ratepayers, a company with Mark Roback's hiding, but Mark Roback, when he comes up for air, being able to accompany him. So his knowledge and my newness just really made this opportunity to be able to attend Washington, D.C. But I pretty much am going to start from, like, as my director's report with pictures. So pretty much attending the next slide, please. Here's a picture of being able to attend the Ray Steyer Water Recycling Facility decommissioning that happened in April. And a quick note, Mr. Roback was actually a director. And so his name was on the prior plaque, and he was able to attend to see the, be able to attend that event. The next slide, please. And on that same day, I was invited to AWWA had a conference here in San Diego, and I got to meet like-minded Latinas who are in our state of California, really wanting to unite and come together. So it was wonderful to meet directors, staff, and throughout the state of California that were here, and being able, they have a podcast, and just really wanting to encourage people to come to and learn about water. Next slide, please. So this is something that Director Lopez is going to wait to present next month, but I just did this because I was very proud about this. There is a non-for-profit event, non-for-profit organization called Flow, and it was a Fellowship of Latinos in Water held at Cumaca Water Conservation Garden. And so I'm on my knees holding Diane's hand. She's the new, I don't know how that happened, but she's great people. And so she's the new director, general manager of the Water Studies program. And the goal for this non-for-profit is to be able to help support students to be able to come together and have some scholarship monies. And thanks again for those that supported and being able to be here and to help with this. Next slide. Here's the Bondigas with Mr. Roback that we attended. We had the speaker, Todd Gloria, understanding what's happening. Not only, my district too represent parts of our city of San Diego, so I always like to have those opportunities to be able to hear what the city is doing, and that was that event. Next slide. And so this is my favorite picture, Mr. Director Roback, is that he had produced, Gemini produced, and so this is, okay, you haven't sent me that new one, right? So here, this is the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, where we were able to have elected officials come and speak to us. Actually being able to go to the Department of Energy and get to see, what's the president's idea of water? Honestly, it is not looking good in his focus about water, but it's like I went, I learned, and nobody's going to be able to tell me something different. What I can tell you from that group picture is that I was able to, with Director Roback, was able to really become and understand with other leaders in our county, like San Diego State, UCLA, UCSD. They attended also. And so getting to hear, their water issues and what they're thinking about and that their studies. And so I'm very grateful to be able to attend this because water is life, and being able to be here and being present and to see what federally is happening, what these decisions so many miles away are affecting our county is so important to have that representation. Next slide. Well, here's the video, not the video, the picture of us attending the South County DC Economic Summit with President Rivera and Director Lopez. So again, it's understanding the micro effects and the big effects of what our county is going for, and very grateful to be able to attend and know that Otay Water is sponsoring and supporting these organizations in our county. Next slide. So the Conservation Garden Spring Festival. So I, again, am very grateful for all of us as directors because we kind of did shifts without knowing that we were doing this. President Rivera went in the morning, then he went to the Spring Valley Day, and then Director Lopez and myself went in the afternoon and then drove over to Spring Valley Day. So it's good to see our community and good to see that we are sponsoring, we're supporting, and that this is something that is still the same message. The women that are on the left picture, that those are employees and directors or chancellors of, not chancellors, of the departments. And so they connected with us with Flow, they saw us, and they're excited to continue spreading the message about what's water majors in our community. Next slide. Being able to go to the Aqua Conference, one of the things that I was able to attend was the local governments, and what stands out in San Diego, that San Diego County has a better system of emergency services than most of the rest of the state. They actually use this as an example for other counties to be able to grow and be able to communicate if there's an emergency. So that is something I'm very grateful to be able to attend and to learn what is happening in our state that supports each different county. Next slide. So here is, we have beautiful Tennille. We have Hector Martinez, Director Lopez, and our past Senator Ben Wesso. We did a fundraiser in Sacramento. So this monies that we are raising, we already have a place where it's going to be landing. But again, it's the work to bring that to our ratepayers, to the area that we want to help service our students. So this was very well organized. Thank you again, Director Lopez, Tennille, and everyone who came to support. This was fundraiser that was able to be held. And last picture. So in this picture, I was able to Alvarez and Patel, Assemblymember Patel, hold our mascot that's for the Aqua GPIA. His name is Jay, and this is what makes it so important to be able to break bread with these people, and also to have them hear our. We also have Andrea Beth from Helix Water that's in that picture with Director Lopez. So it was a very busy month in the information I've learned, and it's almost, it's like drinking water from a fire hose a lot of times, because it's so much information in the federal and the state, in our county. But very grateful to know that us as directors, we're here for our ratepayers, and we're here to be able to understand and protect them. Thank you.
Let's give her a hand. Good job.
All right. Thank you, Director Gonzalez. Great report. Okay, so now we're going to recess into closed session. It's 4:40 p.m.
Yes, we are going to recess. We are going to recess to closed session at 4:40 p.m. We have two separate items: evaluation of general counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54.954.5. The first item, second item is a public employee performance evaluation, Government Code Section 54.957.6, titled General Manager.
And I'm still on the online.
Back to Otay Water.
Recording in progress.
We have returned from closed session at 5:56 PM, and there's one reportable item.
The one reportable item is the board unanimously voted to extend general counsel's contract one additional year.
Thank you very much. President Rivera?
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the consent calendar just to make sure that we got the motion and the second and the vote for the record, just in case we're not, to make sure that we got that on the recording.
So we're going to do
So-
that out of an abundance of caution.
Thank you.
And so in order to address this item one more time, we need a motion and a second.
And I believe the original, just for my record, I believe was Director Croucher as the initial, and the second was Director Gonzalez. So I would recommend the same. Do you concur, Director Croucher?
I concur and make the motion to accept the consent calendar.
Director Gonzalez, second.
Okay, please call for the vote.
President Rivera,
Yes.
Director Roback, Director Gonzalez,
Yes.
Director Croucher,
Yes.
and Director Lopez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so now we go back down to item 16, Otay Water District Financing Authority. Discuss. And with that, then we'll go to item 17, adjournment. We are adjourned at 5:57 PM. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Croucher.
Oh, raise hand. Did we not catch that?
So what's your prediction, Mike? Is he going to?
When did that happen?
Yeah.
We had that Robert that raised his hand, even though we concluded the meeting.
Okay, I would take his question. Yeah.
Okay, member of the public, Robert, see your hand. I don't know if we've just missed it or it showed up just after, but go ahead with your comments. Yes, we can. Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Okay, so that concludes our meeting.
Recording stopped.